guys, and welcome to Find Your Flow. I am Natalie, and today we have a practice for when you're stuck. This could be creatively, emotionally, energetically, physically, anything at all when you just need to shift things around. This practice here is great for getting any stagnant energy shifted and moving in the body. So hop onto your mat and I will meet you there. Starting off our practice today in a mountain pose at the back of your mat. Feet hips distance apart, toes track forwards, knees softly bend over the toes, and really find this softness as well, traveling all the way down to the feet and the toes. So collecting the support from the ground and the energy from the earth with this sense of ease and this gentleness. Sometimes without realizing we can clutch onto the mat for dear life, so much so that our toes turn white. So I invite you here to really release. Can we lengthen a little taller through the spine? So really reaching from the crown of our head like we're a puppet on a string. Finding space between the shoulders and the earlobes. Just noticing if we're hunching and compressing this space. Send some love and space to the neck and travel this all the way down the back body, the front body, and closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Just arriving in this space on our mat with the help of our glorious breath. Slowing our breath down just slightly, and really noticing our in-breaths and our out-breaths. Notice how they are today, the space in the body where you might feel your breath the most, and how this might have changed from another day, without judging or comparing, simply noticing and listening. Finding 5 more breaths here before we jump into our practice, but jumping in a way that really sticks with this calmness that we are finding with the help of our breath. Sticks with our intention of why we jumped onto the mat and chose this practice today, whatever that may be. Just take a moment to acknowledge that. And of course, jumping into our practice with this love, support, and kindness towards ourselves. Nice. On your next inhale, you can keep the eyes closed or open them. Bend the knees, reach the arms wide all the way towards the sky. Exhale, palms float together, down at the heart. 2 more times. Inhaling to reach, marrying the breath to the movement. Exhale, fold, hands to the heart. Inhaling 1 more time, reaching. Exhale, hands come to the chest and the heart center. Taking 1 full in breath here. And as you exhale, release the arms, curl the chin to the chest and start to roll down towards the ground. You can open the eyes here. Coming into a forward fold Uttanasana, just warming up the body as we sway gently from side to side. Send a lovely generous bend to the knees here and keep feeling and finding the support from the earth beneath our feet. Through each of our toes, the heel, the inner arch and the outer edge. Nice, then come back to the center on your inhale, lift up halfway, come to find a flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reach for the sky, lengthen the legs, float tall. And exhale, reach the arms out wide again, releasing them down by our sides and then curling into a fold. Arms heavy like a rag doll. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold and release. Again, pressing down through the feet, we rise up to standing. Reaching the arms and straight away releasing them as we fold and curl forwards. Inhale, lift up halfway. Nice. Exhale, fold. Last time we root down to rise all the way up. This time, sending the arms out wide. Keeping our hips facing as far forward as feels comfortable and feels great for our body as we twist through our center over towards the right side. Keeping the arms nice and wide. Float your way back to center and over to the left. Nice. Keep the knees soft. 2 more times each way. Keeping this lovely, floaty, graceful, almost like we're dancing from side to side as we twist through our center. Nice. Last time each way. And then come all the way back. Reach for the sky with the arms and curling down to the ground in a fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release. Start to walk the hands forward and make your way onto the ground in a tabletop with the wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Finding a beautiful cat pose. Really find something new here as we curl the tailbone down, arch through the spine, drop the gaze. Take a full breath before floating the tailbone up. Tummy comes down, gaze lifts forwards, cow pose. Nice. 2 more times. Finding your flow here. Really feeling each vertebrae moving one by one. Nice. And making your way back to center whenever you are ready. We'll send the left leg behind us, reaching away behind, sending them through the heel, and then stepping this left foot forward and turning the toes straight out. So finding almost a lizard pose here with our back knee on the ground. Make sure if you're on the uncomfortable part of the kneecap to just send the knee a little bit further back. And as always, taking whatever support you want under the knee, maybe a blanket or a towel, anything at all. And then bringing our hands either side of our front leg as we start to roll forwards and back gently, keeping a bend in the knee. And if the hands don't come to the ground, we can lift up onto whatever support we have from our at-home props. Maybe the hands come to the hips. Just keeping this lovely long spine wherever we are. And then make your way back. Bring in the knee over the ankle space. Taking one full breath. And then inviting circles into the hips, coming all the way around and in the opposite direction. Gorgeous. Then turning the left toes back to face the front of your mat. We'll find ourselves in a low lunge. So taking a nice wide stance on our 2 parallel lines, our train track. We'll reach the hands forwards, up, and then softening the shoulders, coming to find a low lunge. Taking one breath here. And then exhaling to release. Step the left foot all the way back and behind us. Toes stay tucked under as we shift our weight forwards over the wrists and back. Keeping the toes tucked, active here so we can find some space in the foot. Gorgeous. Then make your way to center. Float the left leg off the ground again. And this time we're going to keep it here. So making sure we aren't lifting too high, keeping this nice, steady and level pelvis space. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice. Option here to bring our right hand to the center of our chest. And the next option is to reach it all the way forwards. Imagine you're shaking somebody's hand here, keeping the gaze down, neck long. One more breath. And then releasing. Nice. Tucking the toes under, walking the hands back and just shaking out the wrists. Finding headlight hands here. So spreading the fingers. And then jumping all the way back into our tabletop. Sending the right leg out long, reaching away through the heel. And then stepping it all the way forward, turning the toes out as we And come to find our lizard pose here, but then taking our hands either side of the front foot, we're going to rock forwards and back, keeping the toes flexed. Just moving with the breath, warming up the body, waking up the muscles. Nice. And coming back into your lizard, finding one full breath here before circling through the hips. Just a couple of times one way and then the opposite way. Beautiful. Rocking this right foot back forwards to face the front of your mat. Finding your nice sturdy stance first before reaching the fingertips forwards, up, and softening the shoulders. Keeping that puppet in mind, reaching the string, the imaginary string from the crown of our head all the way towards the sky. Finding one breath here. And then framing the front foot, sending the right leg back, toes on the ground, leg nice and long, rocking our way forwards over the wrists and back. Just keeping this soft and easy. Gaze down. I know it's very tempting to always look at the video, but trust yourself, trust your practice. Then making your way back to the center, sending the right leg off the ground. Really find that activation all through the leg, helping us to stay stable in our core center. Option to send the left hand to the center of the chest, or maybe we reach it out in front. Find that person and shake their hand. Doesn't matter if you're shaking, I'm shaking, we're shaking together. Just breathe. Exhale, come all the way back, tabletop. Send the tailbone down as you lift your way into cat pose. And then lifting the tailbone up, gaze forwards, cow pose. Nice, floating back to your neutral spine. Tuck the toes under and reach the arms out in front. As we press down through the palms, we'll lift through the hips towards the sky, making our way downward facing dog. And when you arrive in your down dog, I invite you to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Really check in with how this feels for you. Is there any movement you could take that would make this feel any better or find a little bit more ease? One more breath here. And then walking, stepping or hopping the feet forwards into a fold. We'll inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to release, rooting down to reach for the sky and rise. Hands float high, palms together down at the heart, bending our knees, send our sitting bones behind us. Come to find Utkatasana, chair pose. Nice. Option here in your chair to send the arms away like our little airplane wings. And rock the weight forwards into the toes, just shifting this as the heels rock off the ground. Oh, notice what's happening here in the body. Can we keep this steady breath, gazing on something that isn't wavering? One more breath here. And then folding forwards. Woohoo, nice. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold, plant the palms, step both feet back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, float the left leg off the ground, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee and step the foot all the way forwards. So keeping the back knee lifted, but before we rise into our high lunge, taking a look at our stance, keeping this nice sturdy space between both feet like our two parallel train track lines, then bending the knees, rooting down. All of this will help us rise up. Reach for the sky with the hands. Keep the shoulders soft. And remember what we said about the toes in our mountain pose at the start. Are they finding that grip onto the mat for dear life? Keeping it nice and soft. Breathing in. Breathing out. Taking the right wrist with the left hand. Reaching tall and then folding over to the right side. Making your way back to center, sending the hands behind you, airplane wings, and bringing the stomach down towards the thighs. I like to call this an airplane or flying lunge. And then from here, dragging your right toes up the mat and then eventually lifting off, bending the knee in front. Option to keep the hands down by our sides, maybe on the wall for support, or reach them all the way up. Left hand floats to the outside of the right leg. Right hand reaches behind. So keeping the standing knee nice and soft. We open into a twist. And keep your control. Keep this calm coolness as we send the right leg back into our airplane lunge. And frame the front foot. Step your way back into downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. And then sending the right leg off the earth, three-legged dog. Bending that right knee and stepping our way forwards. Really taking this time to find our sturdy foundation before rising and lifting our way up. High lunge. Even though the back heel's lifted, we're still sending it away actively towards the ground. We're strengthening and lengthening at the same time, so keep with your breath, trust your practice. Beautiful. Taking the left wrist with the right hand, we reach tall first before folding over towards the right side. And then making your way all the way back, hands reach behind like airplane wings. Stomach comes down towards the thigh, airplane lunge. Keeping the toes soft. Front knee over the front ankle. Nice, one more breath here. And then floating the left toes up, lifting them off our mat and finding your version of this standing one-legged Tadasana, mountain pose. Right hand to the outer left leg, left hand floats behind into a twist. And coming all the way back to center, floating the left leg onto the earth, flying lunge. Nice. I know your legs are talking to you here. Listen to them and breathe with them. Framing the front foot, stepping your way back into your downward facing dog. And then from down dog, walking, stepping or hopping the feet forwards into a fold. Inhaling, lift your way up, finding a flat back. And exhale, releasing, coming down into your fold again. As we press into the feet, we'll start to rise up to standing, but sit straight back. Hands come together at the heart in our chair pose. Nice. And reaching behind, finding our airplane wings. Everybody here, just try it, even if it's only for a second. Shift your weight forward into the toes, lift off the heels and fly, my friend. Nice. 3 breaths here. Keeping lovely and long in the spine. Heart space stays reaching forwards, neck long. And on your final exhale, send the heels down and release, forward fold. Nice. From your fold, step the right foot straight back and lift your way nice and slowly with this care and control into your lunge. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then sending the right leg all the way up. This time, instead of lifting forward, we're going to lift behind. Send the right heel away towards the back of our mat, reaching the arms behind us. And flying. Don't worry if we don't fly for very long. We can keep our toes really near the ground. Finding this extension through the spine though, just like we have throughout the rest of our practices. Lovely long length. Nice. And then stepping the right foot back, hands reach all the way towards the sky. And stepping the back foot to meet the front foot, curling forward into your fold. Stepping the left leg straight back now, reaching your way into your high lunge. Nice. Trust and breathe. From your high lunge, shifting the left foot off the ground really slowly and start to fly slightly, even if it's only for a second. Can we keep this rather than being quite linear though and very robotic? Just imagine that we really do have the wings like a bird. Rooting down through the standing leg. Nice, and then reaching back, stepping into our high lunge. Back foot comes to meet the front foot. We curl the chin towards the chest. Plant the palms, both feet come back. Downward facing dog, last down dog here. Find something new, feel something new. And everybody floating the knees down to the ground slowly. Super, super slow. We take our knees wide, big toes come to touch, and sit back in a child's pose. Finding a couple more breaths here. Really use this opportunity to rest before pressing your way up lightly and finding a comfortable seat on your mat. When you find your seat, come to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Notice and check in with yourselves. Asking how you're feeling in this moment. Asking what you had as your intention at the start of your practice. And maybe now how it might have changed. Check in with the subtle body energy. With the muscles, the bones, all of the physical body components. And check in, of course, with your beautiful mind. Always using the power of our breath to help us to find a little more quiet, a little bit more space in between our thoughts. Floating the palms together at the heart. I thank you for joining me today for this swift but renewing flow. Until next time, namaste.